Hello students, welcome back to my class. Now today I am going to revise chapter 1 of English grammar. So this is revision class. So I am going to revise chapter 1 of English grammar, chapter number 1, and the name of the chapter is topic is sentences. I am teaching class 6 English grammar. So this is revision of chapter number 1 in English grammar, and the topic is sentences. So the subject here you can say is English grammar. The subject is English grammar and the topic is sentences. So first of all, see what is a sentence. As you know that the group of letters which make the complete sense is called the words. The group of letters which make the complete sense is called words. For example, apple. It is the group of letters, 1 letter, 2 letter, 3 letter, 4 letter, 5 letters. Apple is made of 5 letters. So this is the group of letters. So group of letters make a word that has a complete sense. The group of letters which make a complete sense is called word. If it is not going to make complete sense, we can't say that this is a word. It means the letters must be organized in well manner. The letters must be in their proper order. If they are not in proper order, we can't say that they are word. For example, the letters are the same: A, E, P, P, N. But this is not a word. But this is not a word because this is not showing the complete sense. This is not showing any sense. That's why this is not a word. This is a word because they show the complete sense, the sense of a fruit. That's why it is a word. Now see, we are going to study about sentences. I am going to revise about sentences. So in the same way, the group of words, there was the group of letter. Now the group of words which make a complete sense is called a sentence. The group of words, here is not letters, here are words. The group of words which make a complete sense is called a sentence. For example, you can say, I read a book. I read a book. This is the group of words which make a complete sense. If the group of words are not making complete sense, it means they are not sentences. We can't say that they are sentences because sense is must. If we are not able to understand the sense with the group of words, it means those are not sentences. For example, we can also say that I book a read. We can't say that this is a sentence because there must be the words must be arranged in organized manner. They must be in at their proper places. If we are not going to use the words at their proper places, it means we are going to make mistakes. And if we are going to make mistakes, it means they are not sentences. So for writing, for sentence, we can say that they must be in proper way, in organized manner. The words must be in organized manner to make a sentence. Therefore, it is said that the group of words which make a complete sense is called a sentence. This is correct, this is incorrect. So, this is a sentence. It is not much difficult to understand the sentence because you are studying about the sentence for a long time. You can understand which is a correct sentence and which is not. We study the sentence that we can understand which is correct and which is not. So, now let us see, we can divide the sentence into two parts, subject and predicate. Sentence can be divided into two parts, subject and predicate. For example, the old man is walking very slowly. The old man is walking very slowly. This tells us that this is present continuous tense. Verbs, helping verbs and main verbs tells us about the tense of the sentence. This is present continuous tense. Is IMR plus ing form of the verb tells us that the sentence is in present continuous tense. But here we have to see the subject and object, subject and predicate, subject and predicate in the following sentence, in the given sentence, in this sentence. So first of all, let us see what is subject and what is predicate. Subject is the part of a sentence about which something is said. Subject is the part of a sentence about which something is said. Now see this in this sentence, the old man. The old man is the part of sentence about which we are going to say something. That's why this is the subject of this sentence. And predicate, what is said about the subject is called the predicate. What is said about the subject is called the predicate. For example, is walking heavily. Is walking heavily. It is said about the subject. It is said about this subject. That's why this is predicate. Subject is the part of a sentence about which something is said. About which something is said. Predicate is the part of a sentence that say something about the subject. That say something about the subject. So this is the subject and predicate. You can also see more example. For example, cow eats grass. Cow eats grass. Cows eat grass. Here we are going to say something about cow. That's why this is subject. And eat grass said. Eat grass, it is said about the cow. That's why this is predicate. The subject is the part of the sentence about which we are going to say something, about which something is said, and predicate is the part of sentence which is going to say something about the subject. That's why cows is the subject and eat grass is the predicate. You can simply understand that because we are not going to use the difficult sentences, we are going to use only simple sentences in class 6. We are not going to use subject at different places. That's why for you, simply you can understand that the part of the sentence which is used before the verb, it may be helping verb, linking verb, main verb. The part of the sentence which is used before the verb is subject of the sentence. And the part of the sentence which is started from the verb, it may be helping verb, main verb, linking verb, auxiliary verbs, etc. modal verbs, and that part of the sentence is called the predicate. Now you can understand like that. So this is the subject and predicate. Types. Now see kinds of sentences. Sentences can be divided into 5 kinds. So here number 1, assertive or declarative sentence. Number 2, interrogative sentence. Number 3, imperative sentence. Number 4, exclamatory sentence. And number 5, optative sentence. Optative sentence. So these are the 5 kinds of sentences, 5 types of sentences. Number 1, assertive or declarative sentences. Number 2, interrogative sentences. Number 3, imperative sentences. Number 4, exclamatory sentences. Number 5, optative sentences. Assertive or declarative sentences can be divided into 2 parts, negative and positive and negative. Positive and negative. You can say affirmative and negative. Positive or negative, or affirmative and negative. Then sentences in which we simply declare or tell a simple statement is called the assertive or declarative sentence. For example, he reads a book. This is positive sentence, affirmative sentence, and it is assertive or declarative sentence. We can also write negative sentence in negative sentences is also included in assertive sentence. For example, he does not read a book. He does not read a book. Now come to the next one. The next one is interrogative sentences. The sentences which are used to ask questions are called interrogative sentences. The sentences which are used to ask questions are called interrogative sentences. There may be 2 types of interrogative sentences. One is yes no type question, which is started with helping verb or auxiliary verb, and the second one is WH type question, which is started with the question word. For example, what, when, why, etc. So see the example. Where are you going? Where are you going? This is the interrogative sentence because we are going to ask the question. We are going to ask the question, that's why it is interrogative sentence. And the next one is imperative sentence. Imperative sentences are the sentences which are used to give the order or ask permissions, requests, etc. When we are going to give order, ask permissions, requests, command, etc., then at those places we use imperative sentences. Imperative sentences can also be divided in 2 parts. One is affirmative positive and second is negative. They can be positive and negative. If the sentence is positive, we will start directly with the main verb. and the subject you is always hidden. We never write the subject because it is always you and that is hidden. And in negative sentences we use don't and then main verb. For example, open the door. Open the door. If the sentence is negative, we will say don't open the door. Don't open the door. Here the subject is you, but we never write the subject in imperative sentences. It is always hidden. It is never written. Now come to the next one, that is number 4, exclamatory sentences. An exclamatory sentence expresses strong and sudden feeling. An exclamatory sentence expresses strong and sudden feeling. When some words or a sentence come out from our mouth because of sudden happening, sudden feeling, at those times those sentences are exclamatory sentences. For example, we can say what a beautiful day it is. Mark of exclamation. We use the mark of exclamation in exclamatory sentences and optative sentences. And what is optative sentence? The fifth one. Optative sentences are the sentences which are used to wish someone, to give wish someone, or to pray for someone. For those kinds of things we use optative sentences. For example, may you live long. May you live long. Or sometimes we also use optative sentences for curse. किसी को जो है श्राप देने के लिए भी करते हैं. For example, go to hell. Go to hell. So these are the five types of sentences. Number 1, assertive or declarative sentences. They are simple statements. We use full stop in the end of assertive sentences. The second one is interrogative sentences. We use interrogative sentences for asking the questions, and we use mark of question mark. We use question mark at the end of the interrogative sentences. Means we use question mark of question in interrogative sentences. Imperative sentences are used for command, request, order, etc. And we use full stop in the end of imperative sentences. And then exclamatory sentences. Exclamatory sentences are used for sudden feelings, emotions, etc. And we use mark of exclamation in exclamatory sentences. And number 5 is the optative sentences. Optative sentences are used for pray, curse, wish, etc. And we use mark of exclamation in optative sentences too. Perhaps in your book, optative sentences and exclamatory sentences are the same. There is only one, fifth one is not given. That's why fifth one is included in exclamatory sentences. So these are the types of sentences. Let's see first phrases. Phrase is a part of sentence which give a sense but not complete sense. Phrase is a part of sentence which give us a sense but not complete sense. A sentence must have a subject and a verb. A sentence must have a subject and a verb. But for phrase, it is not must. If there is a sentence and in that sentence there is subject and verb, it means it is complete sentence. It is not a phrase, it is a sentence because it gives us complete sense. If there is the part of a sentence which give us sense but not complete sense, then it is called the phrase. For example, in the garden. In the garden. At the door. They give us sense, but they don't give us complete sense. We know at the door, but what we don't know. We know in the garden, but what we don't know. So, the part of the sentence which gives us a sense but not complete sense is called the phrase. Now see the exercise. Exercise number 1 is given that which of the following groups of words are sentences and which are phrases. Write P for phrase and S for sentence in the given box. My friend Rama. My friend, I am going to give you only my friend Rama. Then this wind is cold. This wind is cold. Then Bark, she is a good girl. She is a good girl. Now see these sentences. This is my friend Rama. This is only the subject. This is only about Rama. Here isn't any verb. This is the part of a sentence. That's why this is a phrase. This is not a sentence. A sentence must have a subject and a verb. Here subject is present, but here isn't any verb, isn't any predicate. That's why this is only a phrase. This is not a sentence. A sentence must contain a subject and a verb. Now see the second one. This wind, this is the subject. This is the phrase of this sentence. Here you can say is the verb, cold is the object. Here is the complement. So this wind is cold. The sense is complete. We are talking about the wind that is cold. So that's why this is a sentence. Now see this one. She is a good girl. She is the subject. Is the verb. A good girl is the complement of this subject. That's why the sense is complete. That's why this is a sentence. This is a sentence. So this is given in your exercise number 1. Now let us see a few more exercises. Exercise number, what is given in exercise number 2? Exercise number 2. It is given, divide each of the following sentences into subject and predicate by putting a slash. We have to divide the subject and predicate in the given sentences. Number 1, it is the carriage is at the door. The carriage is at the door. Number 2, London is on the Thames. London is on the Thames. Thames is the name of a river in London. Is at the Thames. Thames is the name of a river in London. Abdul has gone. Abdul has gone. Number 4, Rama was punished. Rama was punished. Rama was punished. Number 5, some bad boys smoke cigarettes. Some bad boys smoke cigarettes. smoke cigarettes. So see these sentences. We have to divide these according to the subject and predicate. We have to divide into two parts: subject, one side subject and other side predicate, with the help of a slash like this. This is slash, means this side of the slash would be subject and that side of the slash would be predicate. Now see, and we know that the part of the sentence about which something is said is subject, and the part of the sentence which is said about the subject is called the predicate. So the carriage is the thing about which something is going to be said. That's why this is the subject. So here is at the door is the predicate. It is said about the carriage object. See the fifth one. The fifth one is some bad boys smoke cigarettes. Some bad boys. We are going to say something about some bad boys. That's why some bad boys is the subject and smoke cigarettes is said about the subject. That's why this is the predicate. What is said is called the predicate. What is said about the subject is called predicate. So some bad boys is the subject, smoke cigarettes is the predicate. So we can divide subject and predicate like that. Simply you can divide subject and predicate in other way too, because we are going to use simple sentences only. So the part of the sentence which is used before the verb, maybe helping verb, auxiliary verb, main verb, modal verb, the part of the sentence which is used before the verb is subject, and the part of the verb which is started from the verb is predicate. So this is the examples, this is the exercise of subject and predicate. Revision is completed. Thank you. Have a nice day.